The probe's transmission cut through Earth's communications grid like a scalpel through silk. At the command center, Dr. Sarah Chun stared at the holographic display, her coffee growing cold in a trembling hand. The numbers didn't make sense. They couldn't possibly make sense. "Run it again," she whispered, her voice barely audible. Her assistant, Marcus, stood frozen behind her, his eyes locked on the same impossible data. "Sarah, I've run it 17 times. The margin of error is 0.003%. It's real. The object they detected beyond Pluto's orbit wasn't a comet. It wasn't an asteroid. It was a perfect sphere, impossibly smooth, measuring 14,000 kilometers in diameter, larger than Earth, and it was moving with purpose, drifting in a slow, deliberate arc that defied the known laws of orbital mechanics. This was no natural body. Marcus, his face pale, pulled up additional scans. "There are more," he said quietly. 6 more. Different sizes, but all of them are enormous. The smallest is the size of Mars. Sarah's mind raced, cycling through possibilities, each one more terrifying than the last. Were they ancient alien weapons? Wandering rogue planets? But planets don't move in a coordinated formation. Planets don't emit the faint, rhythmic electromagnetic signatures her instruments were picking up pulses that beat with mathematical precision, like a giant heart waiting to wake up. Within hours, the discovery leaked. Within days, every telescope on Earth and in orbit had turned its gaze toward the outer system. The world held its breath, a collective gasp echoing across continents as humanity's greatest minds struggled to explain what they were seeing. Religious leaders called it divine intervention. Conspiracy theorists declared it the ultimate vindication. But scientists, they called it the most important discovery in human history. No one called it what it truly was, a violation, an intrusion into the quiet solitude our solar system had known for eons. 3 weeks after that first, shocking detection, the Galactic Council made contact. The transmission was instantaneous, overriding every screen, every device, every communications network on Earth. It bypassed military-grade encryption, ignored the most robust firewalls, and simply appeared. The face that materialized was humanoid, but distinctly alien. Its features were elongated, its skin like polished obsidian, and its eyes held the ancient weight of centuries. "People of Earth," the being said, its voice flawlessly translated into every human language at once. "I am Counselor Vexther of the Galactic Union. We have monitored your species for 3 of your centuries, waiting for you to achieve the technological threshold required for this conversation. That threshold has now been accelerated." Sarah watched from the United Nations Emergency Assembly, where she'd been summoned along with every major scientific and political leader on the planet. The chamber was dead silent, the only sound the alien's calm, measured voice. "The structures you have discovered are called the Architect Fleet," Vexter continued. "They are relics of a civilization that existed before any current galactic species achieved spaceflight. They have drifted dormant for 11,000 of your years. Under galactic law, Article 712, subsection 9, these structures are designated as forbidden zones. No species may approach, enter, or attempt to activate them under penalty of total quarantine and economic isolation." Murmurs rippled through the assembly hall. Sarah felt a knot tighten in her stomach. Humanity had just found undeniable proof of ancient alien civilizations, and the very first thing the galaxy had to say was hands off. Vexter's expression turned grave. "We understand your curiosity. Every species experiences it upon learning of the architects. But understand this, the reason these ships are forbidden is not based on tradition. It is based on survival. The architects did not simply vanish. They were removed, and the weapons they left behind are not meant for species like yours or ours to wield." The Secretary General of the UN stood, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. "Counselor, with all due respect, humanity has a right to explore our own solar system. These ships are within what we consider our territory." Vexter's eyes narrowed, a gesture that translated perfectly despite his alien features. Your solar system is not territory. It is a location in space. The architect fleet does not belong to anyone. This is not a point of negotiation. But humanity has never been good at accepting no for an answer. Within just 6 months, 3 separate expeditions launched toward the nearest architect ship. The first was an official joint mission, a collaboration between the United States, China, and the European Union. The second was a private venture, bankrolled by a coalition of audacious billionaires and tech corporations. The third was launched in secret, by a clandestine group no government would publicly acknowledge. The Galactic Council issued stern warnings. Then, those warnings escalated to threats. Finally, they dispatched observer ships to monitor humanity's reckless endeavors. Sleek, elegant craft materialized in Earth's orbit, their advanced design making our best technology look like children's toys. But they only watched. They didn't interfere. Galactic law was clear. Imposing a quarantine required a consensus from the Council, and it seemed the Council was not unified on how to handle the new, stubborn species from the Sol system. Sarah watched the live transmissions from the expeditions with a growing sense of dread. The architect ships were utterly silent, their surfaces impossibly smooth, showing no signs of damage despite 11 millennia of cosmic radiation and micrometeorite impacts. Then the first team touched down on the surface of what they dubbed Architect 1. Immediately, their instruments went haywire. Energy readings spiked off the charts. Strange, deep harmonics began to echo through their communications equipment. And then, for just a single, breathtaking moment, the ship responded. Lights appeared beneath the dark surface, racing in intricate patterns that suggested circuitry on an unimaginable planetary scale. The entire 14,000-kilometer sphere flickered with a soft, bioluminescent brilliance before falling dark and silent once more. Over the crackling feed, the mission commander's voice was filled with awe and excitement. "Did you see that? It recognized us. It knows we're here." From the control room on Earth, Sarah closed her eyes, a cold chill running down her spine. Humanity had just knocked on a door that had been sealed for 11,000 years. And something on the other side had just knocked back. The galaxy warned us, but we didn't listen. Now we're about to find out why some doors are best left unopened. What happens next is anyone's guess, but one thing is certain: our solar system will never be the same again. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what comes next. See you in the next one.